welcome to episode 166, I think, of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. Yeah, 166. My name is Kalisha, and you can find me anywhere online as Nadira Tani. I am coming to you today from my home in Central Florida, and I think I'm going to try something different with this episode because I really wanted to film today, but I also don't feel like doing all of the like notes and prep and all of that stuff that comes with filming a podcast episode. So I think what I'm going to do is take this week and kind of film clips as and when I can, and then put it all together and post it on Friday. That's the plan. Today is Sunday, April 16th, I think. So we're gonna do a weekly week in the life craft cast. Is that what we're gonna call it? I think that's what we're gonna call it. Well, because I just posted the last podcast episode today, I don't have any bright spots to share with you guys, but I will probably have some by the end of the week. So we'll do bright spots at the end of this episode. Last episode, I cut it off early because it got entirely too dark and I didn't feel like brightening and all of that stuff. So I think one of my clips this week is going to be Tootie, be quiet. One of my clips this week is going to be all of the Stashquisition. Since filming last episode, I have gone to Delaware because my mom was ordained as an elder at her church. The next weekend I went to Alabama for my college's alumni weekend or homecoming, and it's just been a lot. This week is finals week at my university where I work, and at the end of the week we have the pinning ceremony. So I think I'm going to be holding on to these little video clips like tiny little life rafts as I go through this week because it's a lot. Yeah, so anyway, I was saying, because I went and I did all of these things, I have quite a few different Stashquisitions to show you guys. I have some finished objects. I have some new projects, just a lot of stuff. So I guess that's like the intro of what we're going to be doing in this video. Do I have any finished objects? I have this pair of socks. I don't remember if I ever showed you guys these, but I knit this pair of tube socks with, is it Regia? I think it was like Regia, and they had like a fruit flavored, like a fruit themed yarn, and this is the watermelon one, and it's like a cotton, is it cotton wool blend? I don't know. I'll find out and I'll put the details on the screen of what kind of yarn this is. But I started knitting these for myself years ago, and then I got through one sock and just didn't feel like finishing them. And then when I cycled back around and I found them in a project bag, I decided to knit the other sock and use them, or kind of do them as tube socks and not put afterthought heels in them, and then give them to my mom. So when I was up in Delaware a couple weeks ago, I gave these to my mom, and because I am a chronic end weaver. I did not weave in the ends. And she thought, oh, I'll just cut them off. And when she told me that, she was so proud of herself too. She put them on because we were going to go somewhere. She put them on and she was like, look, I'm wearing the socks you made. And I was like, okay, cool. And she said, I just cut off all those strings. And I was like, what? And needless to say, because this is cotton yarn and it does not have any, it's not very grabby or anything. And the contrast here is Loops and Threads Wool-like. So it's an acrylic nylon blend. When she cut the strands and she left like this much yarn, it immediately started unraveling. So I was like, oh no. And I had her take them off. And sure enough, the top edge of both of these ribbings had started unraveling. There was like a hole working down here, and she had only had them on for like 5 minutes. So they came back with me, and I have picked up all the stitches, woven in woven in the ends, and then picked up the yarn where there was a hole, woven around that to close it. Just did a whole bunch of fixing on these. So I will be mailing these back to my mom so that she can actually wear them. And I have learned my lesson that whenever I give anything to my mom, I need to weave in the ends and cut the ends off, because shenanigans and tomfoolery will follow if I don't. So I like how they came out, but I don't think that I would knit myself a pair of socks with this yarn. Like, look at, it's just so, it's so pretty. I didn't even block these. This is just how, like, they laid flat and they were like, just, the stitches just laid perfect. Love it. So I think this is my only 100% finished object that I have. I do have a 99% finished object that I am incredibly proud of. So in the last episode, I showed the hat that goes with this onesie. And now the onesie is finished. So my best sister friend is having a baby in June, and she sent me a picture of a onesie that she wanted me to make for the baby. And she was like, can you make it in like 6-month size so that, you know, when it's winter, he can wear it? And I was like, sure, I can do that, because I am a firm believer that I can do anything until I absolutely cannot. So this is the inspiration picture, and this is the base pattern that I'm using to create the dupe of the inspiration picture. The base pattern is Happy Days by Drops Design, and let me just show you. I'm so proud, y'all. So it's 99% complete because all of the knitting is done. All I have to do is sew on the buttons. Look. I made that. I freaking made that. Oh, nailed it. So, I basically only used the Happy Days pattern for the construction and the sizing. I had to modify the stitch counts because this bubble stitch that I'm using, I think is a multiple of 4 plus 3 or something like that. So I had to modify the stitch counts to fit the bubble pattern. Yeah. So the other changes I did, the button band, I had to do in garter to match the inspiration. The decreases along the raglan shaping were not the same as the inspo, because I didn't really know how they did the decreases in the inspo, so I was just like, it's fine. And then I did a rolled collar, so it's a 1x1 rib collar rolled. And then the little sleeve cuffs will be rolled as well, like this. Friends, countrymen, I'm so proud of this thing. Like, I sent a picture to her. I sent a picture of it to her yesterday, because yesterday was when I finished the collar. Look at that. I sent a picture of it to her, and I was like, I freaking nailed this. Like, nailed it. And yeah, so I'll be sewing on these buttons at some point this week. And one of the things that I did when I was checking the buttons, these first 3, I stitched them on 5 stitches away from the edge of the button band, and these were 4 stitches away from the edge of the button band. And I think the 5 stitches away works better. Yeah, so I'll be doing that, and then it'll be done. Let me grab the hat so that you guys can see it all together. I can't handle it. It's too stinking cute. Hold on. Okay. Sorry for all the camera shake. I'm sitting on my bed. So here's the hat. And I think I need to I need to fully attach the pom-poms, because right now they're just like tied in with a bow. So you've got, oh my gosh. I can't even hold it. I can't even hold it. I need a tiny hanger. So, oh my gosh. Oh my Lanta. So yeah, so this is pretty much done. And I could not be more proud of how this came out. Especially since I didn't have, like, I only had the inspiration of what she wanted, and then went through a mental process of how can I create this? And just that exercise of finding the pattern that had the sizing that I needed, and dropping the stitch pattern in and making the adjustments, you know, to handle that stitch pattern. It was so much fun, and I want to do it again. Like, I need to figure out another thing to do. And like, that's something that I really love about knitting and crochet and crafting in general. Like, once you learn the basics of whatever the craft is that you're doing, you can flex your creativity in so many ways just by knowing how to do a thing. I don't even know if that really makes any sense, but your girl is super proud of herself. Like, I did that. Like, yeah. So that is my other mostly finished object. I have a brother project that's gonna go with that. So when I was up in Delaware, I got to spend some time with my best sister friend and her son. And while we were in the program, the ordination program, he was sitting next to me, and I was knitting on the onesie, and he goes, I think he's 6 now. Yeah, I believe he's 6, but he's got the cutest little voice. And he's looking at the onesie, and he goes, I would really love it if you could make me some mittens. And I was like, I will make you mittens, baby. Yes. What else do you want? So he was like, I would love some mittens for the snow time. This child makes my heart explode, just completely. I burst into glitter every time he opens his mouth. So I asked him what color he wanted, and he said green, which I was kind of a non-believer because I asked Amber, his mom, and she was like, his favorite color is black. So when he said green, I figured he said that because I was working on the onesie and the onesie is green. So a little while later, I asked him again what color he wanted, and he says, green with a little black. So what I'm gonna do for that project, I'm gonna make him a matching hat like this. I have to find out if he wants pom-poms or not. So he's gonna have a black hat like this, and I'll make him a set of mittens with this pattern, I think either just on the back of the hand or something like that. And I'm going to do them maybe mostly black with some green trim or something like that. Or maybe just like half and half, because he did technically ask for the green, but I'm gonna have to, you know, ask him again how he feels. But so yeah, I already have the yarn to make a black hat like this, and yeah, so I will need to get all of that done and get this ready to send to her. But I'm so proud of this project. Like, I can't express anymore how proud I am. So there's that. Yeah, so I think that's all I'm gonna film right now. I might film a little bit more later, who knows. But what I am gonna do right now is work on, what am I gonna work on? I'm gonna work on my, what's it called? Drinks on the Patio tank. So actually, let me keep filming because I got a story to tell. Okay, so I'm working on Drinks on the Patio, which is a pattern by Shanakay Salmon. And I was working up the back of the tank top, and the back says to work in a certain decreasing pattern until you have a certain number of inches from the armpits split. And I was knitting along, and I was getting close to like the inch mark, and I, for some reason, looked at it and thought, this is not right. And then I looked at the pattern and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not following the right instructions. I should have stopped 3 inches ago. So I ripped back 3 inches. And then I looked at the pattern again and realized I was following the correct instructions. So now I need to reknit that 3 inches. But because I'm salty about frogging back for no reason, I've decided to move on to the front. So now I have, this is the back and the yarn on the back. And then I have picked up in the front. So let me see if I can show you. This is the yarn that I'm using. This is my second ball because since I had to split for the front and the back, I wanted the striping on the front and the back to match. So second ball, I pulled off all of the yarn in order to make this, to start on the correct stripe color for the front so that it would match. And yeah, I'm going to show it to you upside down because I feel like that will be easier to see. So this is the body, and I've done like one row of the front decrease bit, but as you can see, here's the back, and I ripped out, I think, 2 stripes. Yeah, so that's a whole lot of knitting. But what I'm thinking, because when I had knit the whole like way and I tried it on, it was really big. And I think that I'm gonna run into a sizing issue because I'm knitting a larger size than I guess that would be called for based on my actual measurements and like the ease and stuff that's in the pattern. And since I'm knitting a larger size, I think that the space between this space here, between the between the front and back separation, which is basically the armpit, and all of this decreasing, I feel like this is going to be more space than I need because it is accounting for boobs. And I am a member of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee, and I don't need that much space. I basically don't need any space, but it's okay. So what I'm gonna do is leave this here at the length that I ripped back to and knit the front, and then kind of when they get to the same like height, knit them in tandem so that I can make sure that I don't end up with a tank top that has a lot of open space on the side, because I just don't need that much space. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. And I just like, I hold this up, right? And I'm like, this feels like it's too big. But then I hold it up against my body and I'm like, I don't think it's too big. So I am really struggling with conceptualizing and understanding the size of my actual torso. And that is wild times, friends, wild times. So I think I'm gonna knit on this for a little bit and continue watching Bones, because I am rewatching Bones. Yeah. I hope that this episode doesn't like end up being some kind of crazy hodgepodge of foolishness, but we'll see. Definitely let me know in the comments what you think about this format, because the way my brain is set up these days, this might be the way for me to actually film content for this channel. So yeah, this is Kalisha on Sunday signing off. Bye, friends. Hi, friends. It is hours later, and I have been sat in the same spot knitting on this. The last time you saw it, I was here on the front and one stripe shorter on the back. I have since knit the little neckline bit, the shoulders, connected them, and this is what it looks like full body. Ta-da! The pattern calls for a ribbed neckband and then I-cord edging around the armholes. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I think I might do, actually I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm gonna do, but I'm glad the body's done. Honestly, I can just wear it as is, but I think maybe picking up around the neck and then immediately casting off might be what I do, because I don't want it to come in too much more, because this is actually very close on my neck. So I might do that on all the openings. Pick up and immediately cast off. Yeah, but there she is. My back hurts. My drinks on the patio tank. Yay. Hi friends. Today is it's Tuesday. Tuesday, April 18th. And I am taking a break from work. I'm having a really hard time focusing today. And we have some big events coming up. Like Thursday is our graduation rehearsal, Friday is pinning, and then Monday is graduation. And since I have those big events coming up in my brain, I'm just like, oh, they're coming. And it doesn't feel good in my brain. It doesn't, I feel extraordinarily not productive when I am just mulling over the impending events. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you have a meeting scheduled in the afternoon, and then you are paralyzed to do anything all that morning. Except for this is with days. Anywho, I am taking this moment to finish the I-cord neckline of my drinks on the patio tank. And I don't do a lot of I-cords, but they're kind of cool. I kind of like them a little bit. But this is the last stitch I am going to bind off, and then it's done, homies. It definitely needs a good wash and dry block situation, but I don't know what I did here. I followed the instructions on how many stitches to pick up across the front of the neck, and I picked up 2 more than were intended for the size I was doing, and it still is pulling in. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm not gonna rip it out and do it again. That's what I'm not gonna do. And yeah, this bit, it needs to relax a little bit. It needs to chill out. I like this shaping though. I like it a lot. And one thing I was nervous about when I was making it was how big the sides would be. And after putting the I-cords on the armholes, it pulled it in just enough so that it doesn't feel super baggy. And I like the length. I know that after I wash and dry it and this acrylic yarn relaxes out, this is gonna be kind of cute. I'm excited. And I'm also super proud of this, the I-cord, because I followed the colors around so that this side of it, you can't see. And then the outside, both of them are the same color. It's this color that goes around the edge. Hi friends, it's not Wednesday, it's Tuesday night. We're at my in-laws. We're going to, well, he's painting the bathroom. I'm assisting. So he's gonna put me in a direct.
What happened?
Why are you making so much noise?
Sorry.
He's gonna let me roller paint. But anyway, on the way here, I was knitting on this second sock and got through the heel and everything, only to realize that in the first sock, I knit the...
You said you're gonna wait till I finish getting set up.
I did not say that.
Yeah, you did. You said, let me get set up.
Anyway, I did the heel on the first sock from the other end of the ball, so it didn't break the stripe sequence. And I forgot to do that on this one. And the heel is done. And now I'm considering, like, do I rip back or do I just keep going? I'm leaning heavily towards keep going. The only thing that's giving me pause is that I specifically ripped out yarn at the beginning of this second sock to make it match. We'll see what I decide to do. As much as I don't want to, I think I'm gonna rip back. I think. We shall see. But this is all the yarn I have left. This is Big Twist Premium, I think, in the Inclusivity colorway from Joann's. I might as well be a professional painter. Dun, dun, dun. So this is the first coat. And I don't know when we're going to get back over here to do the second coat. Hi friends. It is actually Wednesday this time. It's Wednesday night. I think it's around 9 something probably. But I'm just chilling out, watching some Graveyard Girl and crocheting on my Crochet Memories blanket. And since it's been a couple days since I posted the podcast, we have some bright spots. So I'm going to share some with you. All right. Maggie's bright spot. My bright spot is that I thought I was going to have to get a second job to be able to afford an upcoming move with my partner and the increased bills, but my job offered me full-time hours. Congrats. There's actually another job-related bright spot that I saw, so I'm going to skip down to that one. And it was from Andrea. It says, my bright spot is that I signed a contract for a new job and I'm super excited. It requires a move clear across the country with 2 cats and a dog, but will be so worth it. I'll be 15 minutes from my sister and in a job that is beyond perfect for me. So congratulations to both of y'all with your new job fronts. And I hope they work out really great for you and you have a good time. Let's see. Marianne's bright spot says, my bright spot, the cherry tree in my yard is starting to bloom. Spring is finally arriving here in Massachusetts. I don't think we really get spring in Florida, honestly. It just goes from like summer to like cooler summer to surprise winter, back to summer. So if you're enjoying that mild spring weather, savor it, except for the pollen. Pollen is garbage. The next bright spot is from Tina, and it says, bright spot, my doctor has gotten my medication for depression and anxiety working better for me. I've gotten my crochet and other making mojo back. Congratulations for that. We do love a brain that be braining right. The next bright spot is Renee. Renee says, bright spot. Side note, I love it when you guys start your bright spots off with like bright spot. That in itself makes me smile. Bright spot. Your podcasts are bright spots whenever they arrive. Oh, thanks. I'm so glad, because it takes a lot of energy to do and edit and, you know, the production side. But I always feel really good when I'm able to, you know, interact with you guys on here or on Instagram or what have you. So I'm glad that my podcast is your bright spot. Lori's bright spot, hi Lori, says, my bright spot is getting to see my brother, cousins, aunts, and uncles, and my nieces and nephews all around the time you filmed this episode. Even though we were together for my granny's funeral, we had so much fun together, reliving stories of Granny and Grandpa's jokes, celebrating her life and the fact that they are together again. I love my family. I'm so glad that you were able to get with your family, even though it's under, you know, sad circumstances. But I'm glad that in everything, there's a joy that can be had, you know? So, much love to you. This bright spot is from A Visit with Nana and Papa. My bright spot, I made it to 55. Happy birthday. Is there a bright spot in that one? No. I read that one. I think those are all of the bright spots. Yep, those are all of the bright spots. So thank y'all so much for sharing your bright spots in the comments of last episode. As always, you can put your bright spots in the comments of this episode. Just leave anything good that's happening, uplifting things, words of encouragement, etc. Because I love them, and good things must be shared. Oh, so today was a lot of getting the final little things together for pinning, and I have like a handful of students who still need to give me the pronunciation of their names so that I can do their pinning cards. And but I think everything else is ready to go. I'm like 99% sure everything is ready to go. But you know, there's still that nagging feeling that I'm missing something major. But I hope that it's just, you know, anxious Kalisha being anxious Kalisha, and not that I've actually missed something major. Yeah, so I'm just gonna hang out here, crochet on my blanket. I have these 4 minis that are gonna go in the blanket next. They're going from this way across. And these are, I think they're 5-gram minis. It doesn't say, but they're from Macmillan Fiber Co. And they're actually a collection that Shella of Unique with Fiber sent me a long time ago. And I can never figure out what to do with them because, you know, they're 5 grams. So I've been working them into my blanket. My squares take more than 5 grams. I think that if you make this pattern to the gauge, didn't even say what pattern it is really. This is the Crochet Memories blanket by Hannah Sigmund. And if you make the squares to her gauge, you can get a square, I think a full square out of a 5-gram mini like this. Mine are bigger. So basically what I'm having to do is that 5-gram mini will get me half a square. So I'm just filling in the rest with this black, solid black that I have. And I'm just working along that way. And I think it's going to be kind of fun that I have a random section that's like all triangle, half and half triangle squares. I think that's going to be pretty cool. So I'm just crocheting on that and just relaxing. I have some I have some planty stuff that I want to do at the end of the week. I bought a couple aquariums. One from this lady on Facebook Marketplace and the other from one of my local thrift stores. And I'm going to use them like terrariums for my plants because I have this one. That right there. The only problem is it's framed with wood, and because I keep it so humid in there, the wood has completely distorted, and it's like a half second off of falling apart, honestly. So I'm going to clean up those 2 aquariums and get them set up so I can rehome my plants. Because as much as I want my plants to be in my space where I can like touch them if I want to, the plants that are in that box, that humidity chamber, are living their best life. Like, I have a philodendron micans in there. The thing is gorgeous. I'm a little bit upset because it's my second micans that I've had. The first one I had out in like room humidity, and it was just acting like I was living in the Sahara Desert. Just crispy edges and everything. But that baby in that box is just velvety and beautiful. Like, I'll put a picture here of that micans, but like, homie is loving it. And another thing about that micans that is kind of weird and cool at the same time, because it's in such a high humidity environment, like the humidity in that box can get up to like 99%. Can it? Yeah, it can get up into the 90s. And because there's so much moisture in the air in that box, the aerial roots on the vines have just started growing out into the air. So it has aerial roots that are like 2 inches long. And it just looks wild and ridiculous. And I love it. So I will not be bringing that baby out into room humidity because I want it to continue living its best life. But yeah, my plants are happy. My Kiva plant is happy. That's my Kiva plant right there. It's like, this is the top of its pole right here, and it's growing like this is a new, right here, this is a new leaf that it's working on, and it's just going to extend past the pole. So I'm going to have to like cut it back and propagate it. This plant right here, it's actually behind this one, but this is my Monstera Leschleriana, and I'm so excited to get that plant going and healthy. That's another one that will need to get chopped and propagated soon. But like, the springtime, even though the spring temperatures are not here for real, like it's hot. My plants are like feeling that spring energy, and it's making me very happy. I have this is just turning into a plant talk, isn't it? It is what it is. I have a Hoya carrii, which is a a Hoya that has heart-shaped leaves that lives in the window. And it is putting out peduncles. At least I think they're peduncles. And that means, like, the peduncle is basically the part of the plant that blooms will come from. And I'm just like, because I think this is my 3rd year having it. I bought it for myself for my birthday. What year is this? 2023. I think I got it in 2021. But I think it's putting out peduncles. And it has so many. But they don't look like the peduncles that I've seen like on the internet, where you can see like it'll be like a stem like this and then have like bits that come out like this, and then there'll be a flower on the tip of each one of those. This one just looks like just a stick, like a stem coming out. So I've been looking at it every day like, you finna do something, because I'm watching. And yeah, at first I thought they were maybe, you good? Tootie's over there coughing in her kennel. At first I thought that they were like misshapen leaves, but they're definitely not. At this point, I'll put up a picture. So if anybody out there is a Hoya professional, help a sister out. What should I do to make sure that this plant blooms? Because I cannot tell y'all the amount of joy and like just ecstasy I would get if I walk into this room one day and that plant has flowers on it. I might just fall out on the floor. They might have to call like 911 because excitement. But yeah, so we've got updates and things that are going to be happening with my plants, projects that I'm working on here. So I hope you're having a great week so far. We have gotten over the hump, and send all the good vibes, because Friday is pinning and Monday is graduation, and that is going to be all of my peopling energy, 100% all of my energy. But what are you going to do? All right, talk to you later, friends. Few YouTube videos, Hobie yarn unboxings later. All of my ends are woven in. And now I'm gonna go put it in the laundry so that it can get washed with the next load, because I really, really want it to relax out, because that's not the vibe. But I'm excited to wear this. Yay.
As orange continent and island, the dawn leads on another day. The voice of prayer is never silent, nor die the strains of praise away.
I think, hi friends, I think I'm going to rip this back maybe 28 stitches, because right now there are 154 stitches, I think, which makes 11 stitches in between all of the petals. So I think I'm gonna rip it back to make like less stitches so that it'll pull tighter. We'll see. Hi friends. So I have finished putting my little sunflower on the frame. So how rude. I finished putting my sunflower on the frame, and I decided, or I realized that it wasn't that there were too few stitches on the frame that I was originally using. It was that the frame was too small. So I was able to find a bigger frame in my weaving supply collection. And yeah, I just strung it up like that. This sunflower is actually a coaster that I got from Liz Loves Leaves. Excuse my dirty nails, I was outside with the plants. But I got it from Liz Loves Leaves today. Today was the plant swap. And I am absolutely loving the fact that there are so many more crochet artists that are popping up at the swap. Like selling their things. I got this, ouch. I got this from Liz Loves Leaves, and then I got this from Sweet Stitch Crochet, I think. What is she called? Yeah, Sweet Stitch Crochet. Little keychain. And then after I left the plant swap, I went to the Apopka Art and Foliage Festival, which was going on this weekend. And there I got this keychain. Just on a keychain kick today from Chocolate Designs Crochet, I believe is her business. She's actually a viewer, so if you see this, hi. So I got my little crochet keychains and my coaster. And what I'm going to do with this is, at least I think, I'm going to attach some of my rainbow gems like to the bottom, and also put, I have some small like vials or test tube kind of things, and maybe hang those on the bottom as well for little propagations and put them up in that window. I think that's what I'm gonna do. But this is just super cute. Like, I know she meant it to be a coaster, but this is wall art, baby. I love it. Hi friends. I am finally here to end this video. I wanted to end it with some stash positions, primarily brought to you by the thrift store. So earlier in April, Lamar and I went to Alabama for our college's homecoming, or alumni weekend is what we call it. And the way that we drive takes us by Valdosta, Georgia. At least I think Valdosta's in Georgia. Whatever. But there is a like discount bookstore, thrift store, strip kind of situation, like bunch of stores together. And Lamar loves stopping there because of the bookstore. When we went by this time, the discount bookstore had closed, but there was it was like a thrift store, antique store with a yard sale outside thing going on. And because Lamar is the best yarn husband ever, he spotted bags of yarn for sale. And he goes, oh, look, there's yarn. So I was like, slow down. I'll just jump out the car. It's fine. And when I went to look at the yarn, there was actually a bunch of Knit Picks yarn in the bags. So I got 2 bags, and the bags were $5 each, which deal. So I had to get 2 bags because whoever packed these bags split the yarn up. I was a little annoyed, but whatever. So this is the reason why I got the 2 bags, because I wanted to get this Knit Pick Stroll Tweed, and this is the Barn Door Heather colorway. And I really like the way tweed looks. I want to knit myself some tweed socks. I have one like sock quantity of tweed yarn. I have this yarn in the yellow colorway, which I forget what it is. But now I have 2, and I'll be able to knit a yellow tweedy pair of socks and I was gonna say red, but this is like burgundy tweedy pair of socks. I'm really excited about that. So I got these, and then in the same bag, there was like a whole bunch of random cotton, acrylic, and stuff like that. And then there were also these. This is Knit Pick Shine Sport in the Clarity colorway. This is 60% Pima cotton and 40% modal. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but as you will see shortly, I have kind of come into a lot of cotton, so summer tops. So I've got that. This itself is not enough to make a top, so I'll have to pair it with something else. But I think in the next bit of stash position, I'll be able to find something to pair with it. So I also got in those same bags, there was some sock yarn, some green sock yarn that I've started a sock, just like a plain vanilla sock. There was some pink tweedy yarn. It feels like some sort of acrylic, like a baby acrylic tweedish something or another. Judging by how much Knit Picks was in those bags, I'm assuming this is some other sort of Knit Picks tweed yarn. This is how the bags look. So I got 2 bags like this. So there's some random acrylic. This one is kind of like a roving yarn. No tag, so I don't know what it is. This one is kind of interesting. I'll tell you about that in a second. This, I'm pretty sure, is Knit Picks palette. Actually, I'm very sure this is Knit Picks palette because I wet spliced it and it felted. This is yarn collage half in, half flame, whatever that means. And this fiber content is 50% milk and 50% wool. I'm not 100% sure what that means, but it's pretty cool. And it's a really cool color. We know I like the watercolors, so I will find something to do with this. It's 50 grams, 174 yards. I don't know. I have to look up like milk fiber. Weird. But I got those from that little side of the road thrift store, flea market, yard sale type deal. And then on graduation day, so after graduation, I think I left the church by like 1 something. So they gift us the rest of the day off. So on my way back from the church, I decided to stop at a thrift store that I don't often go to. And boy, am I glad I did that. Because as I was walking around, you know, whenever I'm in a thrift store, I always look for yarn, point blank period. But this thrift store, and it had to be like one person who did this, like they donated everything. And they were a huge user of cotton yarn And most of this yarn is from the website Hobby or Hobie. So let me show you what I got. And all of these skeins were 99 cents. So I'll try not to do too much rustling, whatever. I got 3 balls of bamboo pop, and they sell this at my local yarn store, and I've kind of wanted to try it but never really had the super urge to do it. And in my local yarn store, this is sold for $9 a ball. So I was like, if I don't have a plan, I don't want to just randomly buy cotton yarn, cotton bamboo yarn, you know, because it's not like sock yarn. I can't just, well, I guess I could knit socks out of this. I wouldn't want to. You know, it's easy to figure something to do with like a skein of sock yarn. If you can't figure out anything else, you can make socks. Cotton yarn is not the same, like, in my head. So when I saw it for 99 cents, I decided to go ahead and grab it so that I could see what it was like to crochet or knit with. Right now, I'm like crochet doodling a tank top. It is currently on hold because the design that I came up with is going to cause me to have to buy more yarn, and I really don't want to do that. So I got 2 of this like light minty color and 1 of white. So there's that. Then I found this. This is Rowan Silky Lace, and it is there it is, 65% cotton and 35% silk. It's 50 grams, and how many yards are in you? Hello? Oh, right there in front of me. Goodness. 337 yards. So not 100% sure what I can do with this, but cotton and silk, it says summertime something. So there was that. That was also 99 cents. And then I sat down on the floor in the thrift store to decide which of these hobby yarns I was going to come home with. There was a whole lot of this yarn, Cotton Kings. So I got the 2 orange because they were just beautiful. And I got 2 of each color that I decided on. Mostly. So I got this one. This one. Those are Cotton Kings. Then this is Hobby Rainbow and this gray and peach. There's another peach skein around here somewhere. But whenever I see peach yarn, I always get it because my mother-in-law's favorite color is peach. And I'm like, eventually I'm going to make you something else. So might as well get the peach yarn. So I got that. Then I got these 2. They're not the same color and they're only like one-offs. But they're back in the Cotton Kings. And then I got these. And I'm currently working with these. I'll show you the skeins. They're the balls. These. So I'm currently working with these and I'm making a tank top. And it's just regular double crochet, and then there is a front post double crochet detail that's going to go up the front. At least I'm hoping that it's going to go up the front. It is very diagonal, but I'm hoping that washing and blocking and maybe pressing it, I can like force it straight. But it's just going to be plain stripes. At the rate that I'm going, I'll have 1, 2, 4. When I finish the gray stripe, I'll be ready to split for the front and the back. So I'm hoping that I will have enough yarn here with what I have. If not, I do have a plan to use, I think, this one for the top, like the straps and stuff, but I'm crossing my fingers that I won't have to do that. And then the last yarn that I got at the thrift store was really interesting. Hope you can hear that. The last yarn that I got at the thrift store I thought was really interesting. It's this Cascade Yarns Fixation, and it's 98.3% cotton and 1.7% spandex. So I thought that that'd be really cool to try knitting a pair of cotton socks. Because of the spandex content, it'll keep like that negative ease in the sock, because cotton, when it stretches out, is just over with. So hopefully, my thought is that the spandex content will help bring it in. So I was really interested in that. So the last thing that I got at that thrift store, what I'm also really excited about, my hair looks a sight, whatever. So, pre-speech, story time. A while ago, I finished knitting the Trelawney top, which is my Plant Mama top. It's a yellow short sleeve sweater that I knit, and it has leaf color work across it. And the yarn that I used for that is Sojourner Sock by Birch Hollow Fibers. And that yarn is, I believe, 100%. Why am I? Here it is. Isn't that convenient? It is, no, 60% US sourced non-superwash merino and 30% Romney and 10% nylon. I thought this was going to be like super itchy against my skin, but it wasn't. So I was like, maybe I can do non-superwash wool on my skin. So while I was at the thrift store, I found these combs, and these were $2 each. This is, what is this? Harrisville Designs yarn, and it's 100% pure virgin wool. Yeah. So this is considerably more prickly. Yeah, this is more prickly than this, but I got purple, I got blue, green, timber, yellow, and orange. They didn't have a red. I was a little bit sad because it would have been so cool to have a full rainbow of the yarn. But they do have my favorite color combination and my wedding color combination. So it's a win-win either way. So I got these. I'm really excited to like try casting on something and to see how a 100% non-superwash virgin wool garment will feel against my skin. And I'm super excited because all of this was only $10. So if it's an epic fail and my skin is like, bro, absolutely not, no harm, no foul, right? So very excited. I have been crafting my little heart away, knitting and crocheting on these projects all week. Well, all of the last 2-3 weeks at this point. Yeah. If you made it to the end, you are a rock star. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for being a part of my universe. Bye, friends.